What is up, everybody? So Magic Online is down right now, and I only have a limited amount of recording time, between work and personal life and stuff like that. So I had talked about doing a Dwarf Fortress series a while back, so I'm at least going to kind of start one today. I may upload it tomorrow. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, I'm going to jump into it. So Dwarf Fortress is it's a fort building game. I don't know what you call it. It's an awesome game once you actually learn it. And there's a lot of parallels to Magic in playing the game in that there's a very steep learning curve, but once you can kind of get to that learning curve, you can kind of figure out stuff as you go along and just still have fun. But I'm using the Lazy Noob Pack. One thing that you do need to do is you can download it. Just type in the Lazy Noob Pack and it'll pop up. Download it. I play with the aquifers off, and then under graphics, I love Space Fox. Awesome graphics set. If not, it's a little hard on the eyes. I would definitely recommend using a graphics pack if you're going to start. And you want to have Dwarf Therapist pop up. I'll explain Dwarf Therapist here in a little bit, but that's definitely something you want to use. And as far as advanced goes, I usually just turn the intro movie off. But other than that, I think that's it. So we've got it pulled up right here. And actually, excuse me one sec. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and let's create a new world. Because I think I have an old save file, but I haven't played in a long time, and we can have some fun with this. So we're going to go with world size medium, history medium, civilizations medium, number of sites medium. I'm not really going to explain all of these right here. Number of beast medium, savagery medium, and then I usually do mineral occurrence on frequent. I don't play a ton of Dwarf Fortress, so I can't actually sit here and explain what each of these do, but it's just usually the higher the medium it is, the more stuff there is to do in a way. Or if you want to play on a harder setting, you increase the savagery, and that'll make the game harder. And then same thing with the beast right there. But I usually do mineral occurrence pretty frequent. So we're gonna hit the Y button to go ahead and start generating our world right here. So you can see in the top left it has forming lakes and minerals, and it's placing beasts. There's a whole. You're basically building a world to like build your dwarf fortress in. It's pretty fun, and you're gonna notice as it's generating the world over here. It's the 47th world, the 50th. The year. Coming up on the 60th year, and as you see little stuff kind of pop up around here, these little roads, these are civilizations. So there's like dwarfs in here, there's goblins, there's elves, there's necromancers. So basically you're just in a roundabout way creating kind of like a Lord of the Rings type setting. I'm pretty sure this dark area right here with the purple, that's kind of an evil area. But what we're probably going to do is get to about the year 100 and then go and hit the enter button to stop the world building. You can, oh, sorry, I had my cat in my lap, and she was giving me some love bites, and they quickly turned into not love bites, so I had to get her out. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hit the enter button, and I'll kind of stop that up going right there. Year 99, that's a nice little amount right there. Okay, so it looks pretty good. We'll roll with this. And it's really cool because, like, right here where the X is in the middle, I'm circling with my mouse. If you look up here, that's the name of the location. So this is the Jungles of Pride, the Imprisoned Hills, the Lucid Forest. Now, like, they have names for, like, everything. This game is so deep. It's really cool. So we're going to hit the U button because we're going to use the world as it currently is. If you hit the C button, it would keep generating the world. But okay. And now you can kind of use the up, down, left key button to kind of just go through your different worlds and stuff like that. You can see over here there's like 16,000 historical figures, 5,000 dead, and 86,000 separate events have happened. I mean, it's just crazy. So we're going to hit enter to accept this world. And then we're going to choose we're going to choose a spot once we get Dwarf Fortress up and running to start building a fort. But it's offloading the units right now. But yeah, as far as Dwarf Fortress goes, what I was hitting on earlier, it is definitely a learning experience. And one of the taglines to the game is losing is fun. So definitely keep that in mind, because you'll build a fort and then some goblins will come and take your fort. Or for the longest time, I was playing Dwarf Fortress, and I would have they have these like werewolf creatures, but it'll be like a were lizard or a were like raccoon or something, and they would come into my fort. One of them, it'd be this crazy, like, let's just use werewolf because everybody knows what a werewolf is. But you can, like, I've had were geckos attack me. But basically, I'll jump into start playing here in a second. But basically, like, my dwarfs would get bit by this werewolf or weregecko, and it would just spread throughout my entire forest. My entire fort, and just like devastate it. So the game is it's a very unique game. Okay, we're gonna go do start playing. We're gonna play Dwarf Fortress, and it's going to load up that world that we just generated. And it's going through the months right now. Yeah, that's I'm pretty sure hematite. And that's funny because they use all the like the names, the rock names, or mineral names, ore names, and like you start to recognize like minotite and or hematite. I think that's copper, maybe. I can't remember. Okay, now so what we're doing right now, if you look over on the left, you can see my mouse right here. I'm circling right here. This is the localized kind of map area. If you look off to the right where my mouse is, this is our entire world right here. So you can kind of see as I'm moving across the map, the X is going across on the right hand side and it's covering a little bit more distance over here. Now if you look over to the far right, it's going to have the name, it's going to have the temperature, like the, what kind of, what is it, man? But yeah, it's like hot, cold, that word's escaping me. It's going to tell you if it's heavily forested or there's light trees. You will need wood in here. You don't need a whole lot of wood, but I usually like to embark where it's heavily forested. Other vegetation, so that's plants. You can have your dwarfs pick stuff for food and to brew stuff off the top. And the surroundings. Actually, excuse me, 1 second. So with the surroundings, if it's hostile, there's going to be more stuff that happens. It's just think of it as a neighborhood. So if the surroundings are calm, you're probably not going to experience a lot of things. Now, if the surroundings are, I don't know the escalation scale, but basically you'll know when it gets there. Let's see if we can find one. So the surroundings are calm. And so you can see where the surroundings, you can see this little purple dot on the left screen. The surroundings are sinister. So I don't know the scale on that, but sinister, if Dwarf Fortress says something is sinister, it's not like saying, hey, this hot sauce is hot, and it's just like mild, like it's hot, like it's 100% hot. Now underneath here, underneath where whatever that is right there, there's sand, deep soil, shallow metals, deep metals, and a flux-stone layer. So one thing you are always looking for is a flux-stone layer, deep metals, and shallow metals, and some type of loam so you can build a farm. So you can see right here, if we embark on a mountain, there's shallow metals and deep metals. There's no forest, there's no vegetation because we're embarking on a mountain. What I usually like to do is find a warmer area because sometimes if you're in the temperate area, the river will freeze, or at least your water. So yeah, okay, we're in the warm area now, and actually, I think I kind of like this. There's some civilizations over here that's warm, heavily forested. There's vegetation, there's wilderness, which I don't know what that means, but I'm pretty sure there's just a lot of wild animals. And you can actually capture wild animals and train them in your fortress. So this looks like a pretty good spot. We've got a flux-stone layer, deep metals, shallow metals, deep soil, and sand. Yeah, so we're actually going to go ahead and embark here. So down at the bottom left, you're going to go ahead and you can see where it says UMKH on the bottom left. Look in the very top left, and you'll see where if we hit the H button, it's going to kind of shift it over. We want to shift that little map area over into some water. And then you want to also make sure that you're not changing any of this stuff over here on the right hand side. So that's perfect. So we'll have a little river running through our embark site right there. And that's where it's crazy with Dwarf Fortress is we're embarking right here into this area, into this very specific river. So it's pretty cool, but we're going to go hit E to embark. Yes, we'd love to embark here. And we're going to prepare for the journey. Well, actually, I think we're going to go for prepared for the journey carefully. So I think I have some other modes set up for us, but sorry, taking a drink of tea. But I'm going to jump through this is the dwarfs that we're coming to our fortress with. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dwarfs. One of the first things that you want to do is you're going to use the up-down key to cycle between the different dwarfs right here. And you're going to hit the right key to go over. These are what the dwarf is good at. And you definitely want to tag. You want to have 2 miners. So you're going to tap it up to. And then tap this one up too. And then let's go over here. I always like to embark with a very good manager. That's usually my position. I enjoy that. I like having a real well-run fort. And so this one right here, we're going to scroll down. You're just holding the down key. We're going to go to Appraiser because people like to trade. And you'll have 4 civilizations come to your fort for each season, and you can make a bunch of rock trinkets. And then, like the elves will come and they'll bring exotic animals and wood products. Humans will come. So basically, it's just kind of building like a little economy system. So I'm going to tag this for an adequate appraiser, adequate organizer, adequate record keeper. And because you also want to have a good manager that keeps track of the inventory of the fort, and I'll show you what that's going to do later. And let's go ahead and go good negotiator, adequate negotiator. Okay, so we have the two miners, we have our basically manager of the fort. Let's go over to, some people like to bring a carpenter. Usually the carpenter can get it up pretty quick, like get his skill level up pretty quick. What else do we want to bring? Oh yes, definitely want to bring a good farmer. So we're going to go grower, and I think that's all you need to tag for a farmer. I might be missing something if there's somebody out there who knows more, but we're going to do an adequate grower, and we'll go and do an herbalist. So that's our farmer. So we've got the manager, farmer. Let's go and grab a good mason. Competent mason. So we've got two miners. We've got the manager. We've got the farmer. We've got the mason. What else do we want to bring in here? We want to bring in a doctor. So we're going to actually scroll up because it's down towards the bottom. And we're going to... Sorry, then if you heard my cat meow, I'm not too sure what she needs. She's been sitting in my lap, but she bit me earlier, so that was her that was her fault for getting down. So let's do a suturer, bone doctor, surgeon, a diagnostician, and then a wound dresser. Okay, so that'll be a little doctor right there. And so we have one more slot. What do we want to bring in? And see, this is the fun part about Dwarf Fortress. You know, there's optimal builds that you can do, but you can also just have fun. And this is one of those things where you kind of pick whatever. So if you want to bring like a really good cheesemaker with you, go for it, man. So we can have a proficient cheesemaker. It's going to eat a lot of our stats, but you can see the points down the bottom. That's how much basically our currency we have to embark with in a roundabout way. What else? Let's keep scrolling down. Let's have him be the head of our dwarfs. And I think, depending on what metal we have, I think we might go for a... Let's get some hammer dwarfs. That sounds pretty cool. So we're going to bring a competent hammerman, and that's going to be our militia captain. Alright, so now that we're done with our dwarfs, you can see our points down on the bottom. We're going to hit the tab button to switch over to our items, and these are all the items that we're embarking with. One of the things that you can take away is a step ladder. Hit the minus button to get rid of it. We're going to take away this wheelbarrow, these crutches, these splints. And we're going to leave the quivers, the ropes, and the plump helmets. The reason you can get rid of those wood items is because as soon as you embark, we're going to have somebody who can chop down a tree, and then we'll get that carpenter to start like getting his carpentry skill level up. So, so we've got 2 copper picks. We're actually going to pump up the number of plump helmet spawns that we're going to be bringing. This is basically plump helmet spawns are the thing that your fort is going to live off of for like the first year. So that's one of the things that you can farm year round. You can brew it, you can eat it, and then get seeds from it. So we're going to pump it up to 30. Pigtail seeds, we're going to go up to about 20. Cave wheat seeds, you can make beer out of that. Pump that up to 20. And then let's go and pump these sweet pods up to 20. And we're left with, looks like we've got a lot of points left over. Yeah, we do. But we need to switch over to animals. And there anything else? I'm going to go ahead and pump up the rope to 5. And let's bring, yeah, I think we're okay with that. So definitely one of the things you do want to bring is you bring a war dog. Because that way you can kind of set up like a little, you can set your war dogs up to where they'll alert to any type of enemies coming in. So we're going to bring a male war dog and a female war dog. And I'm actually going to bring 2 and 2. Dwarf Fortress is very unique in that all of your dwarves have unique personalities and sexual preferences. I like to bring goats, and on my embark, I just like goats are really funny. Goats are a funny animal to me, so I always bring goats. But I brought 3 female goats and a male goat on my embark, and the goats were not producing goats, and I was like, what is going on? So I went into dwarf therapist, and I looked at the preferences for the goat, and the male goat that I had brought was a gay male goat, and so he wasn't interested in the other goats out there, so I didn't have my goat farm up and running, so that was a little bit of a bummer. So I always bring 2 of each male just in case, or at least I always do that. So we're going to pump the, not the kids, we're going to pump the nanny goats up. Let's bring 2 of those, and let's bring a 2 billy goats. So now we have 73 points down on the bottom. Is there anything else we want to bring? You're going to get a lot of animals from new dwarfs coming to your fortress. Um, and some of the bigger animals, you can see they cost like 100 points right now. We've got 73 points left. Let's go ahead. I think I'm going to bring some. I'm going to bring some animals. Let's bring some. Well, I'm not going to bring. I was thinking about bringing some turkey. Yeah, we'll bring some turkeys. Let's bring 2 male turkeys. We're here to have fun. And bring 2 turkey hens. So we've got 49 points left. That's usually about what I'm going to go for. So what I'll usually do, if you have any points left over, I'm just going to throw it into little miscellaneous items. So we're going to pump the bags. Well, we don't need bags. We'll pump the cloth up a couple. Pump that thread up. Now we've got 9. And then I'm usually just going to fill it up with the rest. Let's get some more beer in here. And we have 1 more. And let's grab a pump helmet spawn. There we go. So we're going to hit save. And we're going to hit enter to save it. And then we're going to hit the E to embark. And then we're going to show up. Or I think it'll pop up here in a second. Alright, you have arrived. I think this will be a good stopping point for the video. What you're going to do is you're going to hit enter after the screen, but you can read this right here. It's you have arrived after a journey from the mountain homes and a forbidding wilderness from beyond. And so I'll go ahead and hit enter so you can see what's going on. But yeah, so you can see where my mouse is. These are the dwarfs right here, and here's our little turkeys, and our goats are right here. I'm going to go and end the video right here because usually the Dwarf Fortress video, you can record a really long video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end it right here, and then the next video is going to be me getting our fort up and running. So, all right, guys, if you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.